not your Wi-Fi because it's running the
I think
OBS
once the
in the
Wi-Fi
game.
dropped, OBS just went on the fritz because I kept getting updates on my laptop that it's disconnected. So,
Yeah.
but I only had the one drop, but it sent off a chain reaction of fuck ups. So the stream
Yeah.
should be back up.
Post
All
it
right.
again.
So I
It's
really
gonna be a different link.
like can this be any more of a shit show right now? And I apologize to everybody, and I'm sure I'm going to take all the jokes and slack. So, but
I'll post it.
so, all right. Well, what I wanted to get you next was the draft because obviously your strategy was highly discussed. So maybe that'll what we do next, and then we'll kind of wrap this up a little bit, maybe in five or 10 minutes. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, because I usually like to go by an hour, and right now I'm not sure how much longer OBS is gonna let this stream. So
Yeah.
I
No, you're good.
so all right. So if you guys can hear us, what I wanted to do next was talk about the division draft with AJ. Obviously, AJ drafted from, I believe, a bar or someplace where he was drinking, and
From a dive bar after the opening night of the dodgeball season. Yes.
okay, so you are okay. That's something fun to talk about. You are in a dodgeball league, right?
I am in 2 dodgeball leagues.
You're in 2
correct?
dodgeball
Sundays
leagues.
and Monday.
Wow.
Yes.
So
Small ball and big ball.
okay, so we need to find out small ball. Okay, just for the guys that know nothing about a dodgeball league, we need a definition of that.
Yeah. So small ball is, I would say, a ball that is the size of a grapefruit.
Okay.
That is rubber, and you just pelt it. It is wild how fast you could throw the small ball. 8 on each side. They're just sitting ducks. It's really hard to catch and get people back in. 5 balls are on the field at a time. And then big ball is their more traditional dodgeball. Looks like a kickball.
Yep.
Probably what you played in gym class. Yeah.
Because I remember when we took my kids on their birthday parties to like a bouncy land, and they had a dodgeball area. There was nothing I loved more than pelting 8-year-old kids with dodgeball, and they were running and screaming for their lives.
Playoffs are this weekend. So,
oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So this is a.
And then I'm also in basketball.
Oh, yeah. You have talked about your basketball league. So you are a go getter in basketball and dodgeball. I like it. So, where were we going? Oh, we were talking about the draft, and you were at a dive bar after that. So why don't you get into a little bit on your draft, because you had a spreadsheet and all kinds of craziness there. So why don't we just talk a little bit about that, if you would, sir?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so at the time of the D draft and leading up to it, as some of y'all know, I was unemployed. So I had a lot of time on my hands.
Well,
and
okay.
so
I'm sorry. I was not aware. I maybe thought you were unemployed. So you were in HR for a, I believe it
tech startup.
was mental illness or something, right?
It was a mental illness. It was a mental health tech startup company.
Okay, so
yeah,
not to get too involved. Okay, so you're unemployed. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they had layoffs and a lot of the tech companies. Oh, it's okay. We're good.
Okay.
We're good now. And so they gave good severance. Traveled Europe. It was okay. Had a lot of time in my hands. Created this spreadsheet. A lot of variables on it, from more subjective variables like what I thought the GM skill level is, what their outlook looks like, and and more objective ones as well, like park factors and their budgets and their rap sheet ranking and OSA rankings for prospects. And yeah, I had three teams tied. I posted the overall rankings in general that night. Three teams tied for the first pick: Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore. And love your fellow New York City person, but we all saw the trades he was getting taken advantage on, and felt like he had a lot to learn. I know he's off to a hot start and would love to see him in second place this year. But I felt like that was the best pick, as I was higher on Pittsburgh's farm. Trent, the only reason I did not pick Philadelphia Trent, because he was also tied and he did not have as good a farm. He had a worse budget situation than Baltimore. This may surprise people, but my head-to-head record against Trent is the lowest than any other team. I've only won 38.7% of games against Trent. So I didn't feel right.
That blows my mind, right? So,
yeah, because since I've been in the league, he hasn't been an elite team, but I lose 62% of the time I play him. So
did you actually do your win-loss record versus every team,
Are you there?
Across the league?
Jason?
Yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So you had
yes, I did.
Your win-loss record versus in the history of your being in the league was part of your spreadsheet.
Yeah, I don't know how valuable it was, but it was interesting to look at and maybe says something into how my style of play plays against other GM's style of play. And park factors factor into that as well with how we build our teams. And I do not have any success against Philadelphia.
That deserves a happy Trent emoji in general Slack.
I slacked him and let him know that too. That he has the best record against me.
That is a truly, I'm gonna say, shocking and amazing stat that we have learned tonight on the Championship Pod. So obviously, one of the more polarizing picks in the draft was JP, and as you said, it should have been Dan, but it was JP. So
based on my spreadsheet, it should have been Dan. However, the Cosmos, or in actuality, the tequila sodas at that point, made it hard to fully read the spreadsheet on my small phone and keep up with who's already been picked.
Right.
And so I had three teams tied outside of Dan, because I missed that. But I had three teams tied for that second and third pick because they were back to back. And the three teams that were tied for that position were JP, the Mets, and you, Jason.
Ooh.
And I felt you and JP are too similar a style.
We are.
That I wanted some variety. So I didn't pick both of you. The Mets, they've had some decent seasons and since I've been in the league, but I know a lot of their glory days were before. Brandon was my first trade in Sky. Some second baseman, Edwards, who was fragile, and got taken advantage of in that trade by Brandon, but it's okay. But he got a huge haul with Greeley. He will have a good farm, but I wanted to space out the rebuilds I knew Yort was trying to win, even though I didn't think that was right. I knew Brandon was rebuilding. JP, I know, should be rebuilding, but he refuses to tear it down. He refuses, and I love it. Every time he doubles down, I just get so happy because it's all working out how I planned it.
Oh, well, he's octupling down now. He is. I feel there's two more moves coming. So.
Yeah, he has a second round pick, I think, right?
Yeah.
So he has something else. And then Higgs, I was shocked to still be around. At the end,
I was surprised. Like doing the broadcast live, there were some picks that obviously guys fell in the draft that you didn't expect or you forgot about. You know, Alberto fell and we kind of forgot about him, and you forgot about, you know, Steve. I kept telling everybody, I can't believe Steve hasn't been picked.
Yeah, so that was great.
I mean,
and
you
hear me
again. What the fuck?
Jason,
can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. It's not the Wi-Fi. It's not the Wi-Fi. Like, I'm connected. Like, I can hear you, but you can't hear me. It's OBS is just a mindfuck right now. All right, so let's wrap this up because I don't know how much longer I can take this. I'm sure everybody else is just dying. So we've come to the point. It is a tradition on the pod where the champion gets to talk shit about one guy, not me, in the league. So AJ, do you have beef with somebody in this league, and do you want to trash them?
I don't have any personal beef with anyone. However, as we were discussing earlier, the easiest target, but I've already made many trolls on him already, is my fellow division mate, JP.
Yes.
Who, as you said,
yes,
is octupling down with a mediocre roster after making some really poor all-in trades a few seasons ago, right? What was that guy from Memphis he gave up 2 first-round picks for that did not deserve it? Rosenberg, yes. And to use one of my famous lines, I just don't see it. Sure, maybe they could squeak into the playoffs, but is that what we're really playing for? That, like, the JP I know builds dynasties and then tears it all down and is terrible for 7 years, right? And this is a different JP. It fits well within my division plan still. Like, I want him to keep winning or trying to win for the next 2 to 3 years before he rebuilds, to make sure that there's always a team doing a rebuild. It looks like Montreal might go that way if they could get a good haul for Pack and that pitcher. In St. Louis, I don't know what's going on. So, I mean, this really turned into the roast, I guess, of the whole it's not Central, Sandoval division. But feeling really confident. I won this division by 30 games last year. And looking forward to doing the same this year.
Yeah, I don't think there's a team within 20 games of you. So I appreciate you attempting to shit on JP. So I do appreciate the attempt.
Yeah, I mean, I never get personal. I try to keep all the baseball moves.
Yeah.
Making fun of the base guy.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean he's stubborn right now, and it's good. It's good for the league, and it's good for chat. So, all right, AJ. I'm not sure how much longer I can get the stream to stay up, so I'm gonna.
You're good. We're at an hour.
Just about an hour. Maybe 50 minutes of real content and 10 minutes of fucking a shit show. But AJ, I appreciate
3 different
you joining
videos.
us. I appreciate the White Sox talk. Congratulations on your championship. Hopefully you win another one real soon. I think you're going to be a contender this year, obviously, and good luck this year, buddy.
Thank you, Jason. Thanks for hosting.
All right, man.
Good time.
Cool.